WMNH Rip the Knob Off.
Hey everybody, welcome. Here we go. It's that time again. Matt Connerton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all of your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. And it is Wednesday, April 27, 2022. I do want to remind you, of course, before we get rolling, that we are proudly sponsored by the Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan, right across the street at 1000 Elm Street in downtown Manchester. And today is Wednesday, which means tonight is industry night at the Hop Knot. They are opening up at 4 p.m. today. And please stop in and enjoy some of those delicious gourmet pretzels. They have an assortment of craft beer. It is a wonderful place. They've got a big celebration coming up, their 1-year anniversary of the Gender Blender events that they've been having, a very popular event there. We tried to, yesterday when EZG was here, we tried to talk him into attending one. We'll see. I think he said yes, but I can't quite remember. So a quick programming note, coming up today, around the 5 o'clock hour, 5 p.m. Eastern time, Monte Sieberns, is it Sieberns or Sieberns? I think it's Sieberns, is going to be Skyping in. Billy Painter connected us with Monte. He is a very successful radio host who happens to be visually impaired. And I was watching a video of a news story. I mentioned it on the show yesterday, and EZG was familiar with him. He had seen this gentleman in the news recently. It is Sieberns. Thank you, Billy. Monte, is that you?
Oh, yes, that's me. I hear you now.
Ah, excellent, excellent. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, thank you. It's a pleasure to be on with you this afternoon. Good to be here.
I've noticed you have a radio voice.
Well, thank you so much. That's what they say. Yeah. I don't have a face for television, so. Thank you.
It's good to talk to you, and I'm very happy that our friend Billy Painter connected us. Let me just mention too to everybody. So we're going to be speaking with Monte for a little bit. If you have a question or anything for him while we're doing that, the phone line is open because we have Monte on Skype. So you can call us at 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. And, of course, you can interact and opine in the Facebook live chat as well. But so, Monte, you are a radio professional, of course. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born premature, and as a result of that, I lost my eyesight completely at birth.
Wow.
But I just became fascinated with sound and mimicking things that I heard. The first thing I mimicked was my mom singing while she played the piano, How Great Thou Art. And I started mimicking things I heard on the radio. 1190 WOWO, which was a heritage station, is a heritage station in Fort Wayne. And I knew from a very young age, probably 3 or 4, that I wanted to be that voice coming out of the speakers and reaching out to kids and people everywhere. It just was a really cool thing for me. So a cousin of mine brought me into the local FM educational station, and that was it. Ever since I've been 5, I've been in and out of studios,
That's remarkable to me that at such a young age you knew, because people, kids, you ask a kid what they want to do when they grow up, and, they want to be a policeman or a fireman or, usually something where they think it's going to be action oriented in some way. But you knew pretty young that you wanted to work in radio, and right out of the 5 years old, that was your first That was your first experience in a radio station, huh?
Yes. I mean, my other choice was I liked our neighbor's dairy farm. I wanted to milk cows, but that required, a lot of work and no weekends off. So I decided, well, maybe radio is better than running milking machines, I guess.
Yes. And there's probably less that can go wrong. But no, that's amazing. So you were born blind. So you've never had sight. So you have no idea, what it's like to be able to see at all. So, I mean, I assume completely blind, fully. You have no vision whatsoever.
Yes, totally blind, no vision whatsoever. I have 2 prosthetic eyes. So I can keep an eye out for you, as the saying goes.
Wow.
But radio is such an audio-driven field that I was just attracted to it, and I've been so blessed to have so many opportunities. Even when doors were being shut, I just kept pursuing it, and it's just been a real blessing, and it's a real thrill to be able to reach out, play music, and entertain people, and just reach out to them.
This might be an odd question, but you do have that, that classic radio voice. Did that start to, was that noticeable from a young age? I mean, obviously, you were interested in radio at a very young age, but was it also obvious at a young age that you were going to, as you developed, as you got older, that voice that you have?
According to some of my schoolmates, it was, because I was the guy that would run around with the little Donnie and Marie Osmond microphone going, hey, in my prepubescent voice, we're reporting the news and we're interviewing so-and-so. And I went to residential school, so I would record everyone in the dorm and do little news stories and that kind of thing. So if you ask my schoolmates, I thought my younger voice sounded kind of bad, but I had trouble with my THs, and it was Miss Kent, the speech teacher, that says, if you want to do radio, you'll learn how to pronounce your TH sounds, and I did.
Yeah.
I worked on it very hard, and thank God for her, because she was a godsend.
Oh, that's excellent. We have a call. Ron is on the line. Hi, Ron.
Yeah, hi, Matt. Wow, what a guess. Unbelievable. Let me try to shut off my radio here. Oh, my God, if you had never said anything, I would have thought, wow, what a good guy and everything else. So congratulations on overcoming your disability, if that's what you want to call it. And my question was, in today's science and and all the advancements, is there still no hope to help you if you wanted help or if you could get it?
Well, in my case, probably not, because my eyes were enucleated, removed totally when I was 21 years of age. Now, my wife, who has retinitis pigmentosa and is also totally blind, I believe there is hope for her that they could do some cellular regeneration. We're not there yet, but I think that she could get her sight back, and that would be just wonderful, because she was partially sighted up until she was around 33 years of age, and she lost her sight after she had her twins.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, interesting. That's a great question, Ron.
That is a very good question.
I'm going to hang up now because I can't even begin to contribute to this conversation. I'm all ears. I want to hear everything this gentleman has to say.
All right. Very good, Ron. Thank you for the call.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
You got it. So your wife, when she had the twins, was that, was that a coincidence that's when she lost the remainder of her sight, or?
Well, they had always told her. We had known each other since 1978, and we weren't each other's first marriage. We married later in life, but she married and had 4, beautiful children. Her daughter, Mecca, was born first, and then her twins, and that's when they always said you run the risk of losing what vision you have if you have children, but she just had a passion for raising her children. She's an ordained minister. She struggled through agoraphobia and reaches out. She's now getting her degree in Christian counseling, and she just hasn't let it stop her. I mean, she's very much involvement, being compassionate toward others and trying to reach out and minister to others, even through the circumstances she's been given.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's interesting. So she knew the risk, but wow. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit now? I watched a news story, and by the way, Easy G, who was here with us yesterday, he was familiar with you when I mentioned your name. He had seen you in the news. But I'd watched a news story about you going to apply at a radio station, and they saw the cane and everything, and they were very skeptical, and they ended up not hiring you. I mean, can you kind of tell us a little bit about your journey through your radio career and how you got to where you are now with it, and just take us through that a little bit?
Sure. I was 13 at the time, and there was the station had gone from being Z103 to WJRY-FM, owned by a fellow named Rob Sherman. I think he's passed on now, but he couldn't afford to pay people. He ran into some financial difficulties. But I said, well, here I am. I'm 13. I really want to help this man out because I don't necessarily need to get paid. I would want the job more for the experience of getting airtime and honing my craft. So I submitted a tape, and he said, hey, come in. We want to talk to you. We like your tape. And then we saw the cane, and, you can't read the meters, and you can't take transmitter readings. And I thought, well, I'm sure there's a way we could work around that. But it never ended up happening. But then when the station sold to another gentleman, he brought me on and gave me a shot, excuse me, on the weekends. And and I kind of just bounced around from station to station at that point, doing weekend work and fill-in work and whatever I could get,
So how do you, how do you figure out, being visually impaired, how do you figure out how to work all the equipment? I mean, what goes into that?
Well, you know what? I've been very blessed. When I touch a control board, I seem to almost instinctively understand that. And I think in fact, I don't think I know that's a God-given gift. Because I can say, okay, this is where the mic pod is going to be, and this is, and sometimes they differ from board to board. Yeah. But you get the general idea. And when I started, it was all records and reel-to-reels and carts. But now with the computer, there's speech programs like JAWS, which stands for Job Access with Speech, that can read the screen to you. So you really, there's so much that's available nowadays to make that happen for you. And that's how we do it.
Yeah, I mean, the technology, obviously in the time that you've been doing this over the years, the technology has advanced so much, and I can only imagine how much. I mean, the resources that are available now to help you with that, I'm sure when you started, there was probably next to nothing, right? You just had to kind of, like you said, learn the board and then figure that out.
Yes.
Yeah.
We would put Braille labels on things, on record jackets and that kind of thing, or you would just drop a needle on it, listen to it in the cue gain, and then backspin it. The whole business that you do, and there it was. And then you would just intro it. And it was a really, really awesome experience.
Yeah, yeah. So now, right now, you have your own internet station, is that correct?
Yes, Z103.com, which emulates the old FM that used to be here, and it's all, we play over 7 decades of music, everything from the 50s through today, and we serve Huntington, Indiana, and the surrounding communities that aren't necessarily being represented by Fort Wayne Radio. And it's an open door policy. We got a kid that wants to come in and talk about comparing Star Wars to Harry Potter on the morning show. So we let him do it. Yeah. Because we know his family's going to listen, his friends are going to, and it's just fun. We have fun with it. The mayor's office has partnered with us. We just interviewed the robotics team from our local junior high schools, and it has been just amazing,
Now, how long have you had this, Z103.com?
We launched it on January 3rd of this year.
Oh.
And our hope is to get enough ad dollars that we can put full-time staff on the air, including other blind people that want a shot at radio that aren't being given a chance. That's my hope and my fervent prayer, that we can employ them and give them gainful employment and salaries.
That's outstanding. Good for you. Have you heard from other? I mean, I assume because you're out there doing these interviews and you're in the media. Do you hear from other blind people who are trying to get into radio, or maybe who are in radio, who are just looking for help furthering their careers?
Yeah, we're starting to. At this point, we're all working paycheck free until we get this off the ground.
Yeah.
But it's starting to trickle in and increase, and that's something we're very grateful for.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Good for you. And then,
yes.
Now, is this streaming 24 hours?
Yes, sir, it is. 24/7.
Always on. And the great thing, too, obviously, whereas you're streaming is, as you've described it, it kind of serves the area that you're in. But, of course, people from anywhere in the world can access it, which is wonderful.
It really is. And people do, because they like that small town feel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be doing the one chip challenge with the hot spicy chip the last Friday in May to raise donations for Love in the Name of Christ, a local charity organization. And they get to come out and watch me make a fool of myself, and they bring a donation to Love Inc. And we're hoping that a lot of people will show up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's fantastic. How did you, by the way, how did you meet our friend? We have a mutual friend, of course, Billy Painter. How do you guys know each other?
So I met Billy. He was doing a telephonic show, and I tuned into it. And he said, well, I'm not a radio professional, but I loved what he was doing. He was talking about mixed martial arts,
mm-hmm.
and he just had a knowledge and an ability to deliver. And he described everything so that even a person who couldn't see could understand what was going on. And I just thought that was awesome. I said, man, you're doing great. And then he got into the radio thing, and he just has a knack for, placing people. It was awesome.
Very nice. Very nice. We have a call. We'll grab this. I think somebody has a question for you. Hi, welcome to Matt Connerton Unleashed. Who's this?
Well, since I heard my name get brought up, I had to chime into the conversation.
Oh, hey, Billy.
No, yeah, as Monte said, if you remember when we were talking about how certain Mr. Krabs was mentioning caller ID and spoofing and all that, and I brought up chat lines.
Yes.
That's actually where Monte and I met, was a chat line.
Okay.
And,
yes.
And, I was running the MMA show, and he agreed to help do some voice work for some upcoming shows for advertising. And as I told Monte, it's like, I really don't have the great radio voice that you do. Monte's like, well, you still have a radio voice, and I think you can do something with it. And then come 2015, when I enrolled in American Broadcasting School, when I had homework assignments and things like that, I mean, my instructor, Mike Hatch out of Texas, he's got a pretty good radio voice himself, but I worked on the side with Monte to help perfect my assignments. And I think I owe it a lot to Monte, too, for... basically, he helped me graduate top of my class.
Oh, that's excellent.
Bless your heart. Well, you did that. You put a lot of work into that, and it was just incredible how far you've come. It's amazing, and I'm proud of it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes, I mean, I appreciate your help along the way. I mean, and not only that too. I mean, there was all that helpful criticism too. I mean, you didn't take it easy. It's like, no, you don't do it that way. You do it this way. If you want it to sound good, if you want to be taken seriously.
Well, it's good to know.
Well,
I was just going to say, it's good to know too. Something good can come out of those chat lines, because Billy, it sounds like there can be a lot of trouble with those chat lines as well.
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's built an incredible following and has just done an amazing job. And I'm proud to have met him and seen all that he's developed over the years. It's been incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Billy.
right.
Anything to add?
No, I'm going to bounce out of here and let you complete the interview. Thanks for having him.
All right, my friend. Absolutely. Thank you. Take care. All right, that is Billy Painter, of course, the host of Outlaw Radio. And Billy, actually, Billy's connected me with a number of very cool people. But so Monte, so you're on Z103.com. Is it Monday through Friday that you do the morning show?
Yes, I do, and it's music focused, but we do that. And then I do an afternoon show from noon to 5 called The Music Shop, where we really dive into the record collection and audio collection and have a good time with it. So it's so much fun. They can go to the on their Apple iPhones, just to the App Store, type in Z103.com. It's a free app. Or you can get that on Android. And we have a country station, Z103.us. We have the iPhone app available, but the Android app is still under development. But we have 7 decades of country as well. Z Country, we call it.
Oh, okay. Ron is back on the line. Hi, Ron.
Hey, Matt and Monte. Monte, do you read Braille?
Yes. I do. Every day I do some Braille reading. I love it. It's been a blessing to have it. And, yes, I do Braille constantly.
Wow, that is unbelievable, because just the thought of having to learn it, it's like, oh, my God. And I just want to have one brief little statement. I had the I don't know what the word I'm looking for, the luck of being able to meet him in person once, who lost his eyesight due to grain alcohol. And you know what? He was a born-again Christian, one of the nicest guys I met. We shared a coffee, and he told me, he said, Ron, I see more with no eyesight than I did before when I could see. And, that was my story, and, and that's it.
That's right. Oh, that is so awesome. And you really do. You get to discover the other senses, which is just wonderful.
Yeah.
How in a million years, I think about your accomplishments, and I look at myself and I say, get your ass out of bed and go freaking do something. You know what I mean? I'm so lazy, and I always seem to have an excuse, and I think of your stories and your successes and where you are, and I was like, wow, I gotta see the light, if you want to say.
Well, that's good. Hopefully Monte has inspired you. That's good.
And that's all. Definitely an inspiration, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for your time, guys, and that's it. I won't bug you anymore.
Oh, no worries. All right, thank you, Ron.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, appreciate it. Well, Monte, you've been generous with your time. We appreciate it. We'll let you go in a moment, but of course, the website is Z103.com. I'm looking at it right now. It's a nice site. I like the very user-friendly layout, which is wonderful. That's important. Anything that you wanted to add or want us to know about?
Well, I just encourage people to tune in and enjoy it. We're here to have fun and to we have an open door. If there's local bands that have stuff they'd like us to play on the air, send along your CDs or files. We'd love to. We just have fun with music and audio, and we're here for you guys. So it's your station as much as it is mine, and we just appreciate all the support we've received in the 4 short months we've been on the air.
Yeah. Wow. No, that's great. Well, I wish you continued success, and I'll be keeping an eye on this and watching it grow. I think it's wonderful what you're doing. And thank you so much for joining us. And again, I'm very grateful to Billy for connecting us. But we'll have to do this again, Monte, as things continue to progress with Z103. We'll check back in with you. And thank you so much, my friend. It's been wonderful to talk with you today.
All right. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you.
All right, Monte. Thank you. Take care, my friend.
All right. Take care. God bless.
All right. You too. Bye-bye. All right. The great Monte Sieberns. That was very cool. Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, free dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
WMNH, rip the knob off.